All right, you're now live and good to begin.
This meeting will now come to order. As part of the continued efforts to prevent the spread of novel coronavirus COVID-19, this meeting is being conducted by video teleconference. We welcome those of you joining us via the meeting portal and hope that everyone is safe and healthy. I will now read the EPSB mission statement. The Education Professional Standards Board, in full collaboration and cooperation with its education partners, promotes high levels of student achievement by establishing and enforcing rigorous professional standards for preparation, certification, and responsible and ethical behavior of all professional educators in Kentucky. Today, we welcome Sharon Chesser, who is serving as board secretary. Ms. Chesser, thank you for joining us, and will you please call the roll?
Thank you. Mary Pat Reagan.
Mary Pat Reagan, present.
Melissa Bell.
Melissa Bell, present.
Melanie Callahan.
Melanie Callahan, present.
Kim Chevalier.
Kim Chevalier, present.
Aaron Collins.
Aaron Collins, present.
Donna Hedgepath.
Donna Hedgepath, present.
Justin Mitchell.
Justin Mitchell, present.
Daniel Morgan.
Daniel Morgan, present.
Ellen Murphy.
Ellen Murphy, present.
Sherry Powers.
Sherry Powers, present.
John Robinson.
John Robinson, present.
Shad Soletto. Adam Smith. Elizabeth Smith.
Elizabeth Smith, present.
Jamie Stickler.
Jamie Stickler, present.
Stephen Thomas. Ashley Weiss. Ashley Weiss. Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, present.
We have quorum.
Thank you. We will now move to the consent items. The following items are listed on the agendas as consent items. A, approval of April 13th, 2020 EPSB meeting minutes. B, Bellarmine University approval of proficiency plan. Does anyone wish to remove either of the items from the consent agenda for further discussion? Okay. Having received no request to remove items from the consent agenda, can I have a motion to approve consent items A and B?
Justin Mitchell.
Okay, Justin Mitchell, do I have a second?
Kim Chevalier for the second.
Thank you, Kim. The motion before the board is to approve consent items A and B. As this meeting is being conducted via video teleconference, we will have a roll call vote for each vote. Ms. Chesser will call the roll, and I would like to remind each board member to please state your name, pause, and state your vote. Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll again for us?
Yes. Melanie Callahan.
This is Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier.
Kim Chevalier, yay.
Aaron Collins.
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, aye.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Thanks. Amanda Ellis joins us today as Executive Secretary to the Board, and I will now recognize Dr. Ellis to provide her report. Dr. Ellis.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope this beautiful day finds you well and ready for another week. Just want to give you a few updates from the department. You all are probably sick of hearing from us because we keep asking for your input. We keep having task force meetings. We have had our advisory committee meetings that represent pretty much any stakeholder group possible on a routine basis for those feedback loops. We met with students, teachers, principals, superintendents, parents, local board members, and we have the continuation education task force who Mary Pat might be talking a little bit about, so I won't share anything additional, but I will say that the Lieutenant Governor Coleman worked with Commissioner Brown to add a couple members of our continuing education task force to address those issues that a lot of superintendents are trying to figure out what to do in the fall, working with public health, and making some really tough decisions with changing criteria as we learn more about COVID-19. So it has been a really busy season. I know it has been for you all as well. And I want to commend you for finishing out the school year strong. A few things that we were really pleased with outside of the guidance and the work piece was the 2020 graduates. You know, this was not their ideal end of a school year, but we felt we were just really, really proud of what the districts did to honor the seniors. If you didn't get to see the senior recognition for Kentucky, our very own Megan Osborne, who runs all this along with Andy, helped coordinate this with well over 1,000 photos to recognize all the high school seniors in Kentucky. It's on Facebook. If you've not seen it, I hope you'll take a chance to do that. We had local performers, Lincoln Bridge, J.D. Shelburne sing, a K-State student. It was really incredible and a lot of hard work. So we did get to celebrate our seniors, even though it wasn't quite traditional, but I think it was a good thing. The other thing that is going on outside of the preparation with COVID and the public health partnership and that day-to-day work is the commissioner search. So it is well underway. Interim Commissioner Brown has done a phenomenal job under things he never, ever guessed he would sign on for. But I will say that he has been a relentless leader in this, and we are very grateful for Kevin being willing to come back and walk us through this unpredictable season. But I will tell you that the board interviewed 11 candidates. We don't know who those folks are. It's very confidential at this point. They've narrowed down, I think, to 6, and it will be the beginning of July when that second round of interviews will take place. So it is well underway. There is a search firm that has helped coordinate this. And so we're all anxious to see who the candidates are, but I wanted to let you know that's moving. And then the other last quick thing I wanted to bring to your attention is we do have online professional learning opportunities for teachers and leaders. Would love for you all to take advantage of that or share that with your colleagues. We know that it is a unique time for professional learning and to prepare for the fall. We have a great series on going back to dig into your curriculum and how to adjust that to prepare for your students, knowing that every single student is going to come in with some type of gap, whether whether it be academic, social, emotional gap, some type of individual need. And so this is really tough for you guys as teachers in the classroom to take that on and be prepared for that. So we do have a series for that, and also summer support for families who need resources. I know libraries are preparing to open up. Many may wait, just depending on their capacity, but just really having that support in the summer for them, not only with feeding, but any type of literacy or numeracy or any type of academics, just to keep their minds engaged, but not overwhelm families. So we do have those resources, and we continue to add to that. And we appreciate the feedback that we are receiving from teachers across the state. So I will pause, see if you have any questions before we move on. All right. If not, I will call on Mary Pat. If you will give us an update from the cabinet, please.
Thank you, Amanda. As you mentioned, we are continuing with working with the task force. Actually, this afternoon, Dr. Stack and Dr. White will be on the meeting this afternoon to review guidelines for reopening schools. And get input from the task force. I know this has been very difficult and at times frustrating for everyone, but we are working as quickly as possible to get those guidelines out, and everyone has had extremely good input. In addition, we have received the funds for the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund. That will be used by both KDE and higher education for technology throughout the state and feeding programs. So we're working on getting those distributed, but they are here. And that's the update I have.
Great. Does anyone have questions for Mary Pat? All right, if not, Melissa, I'll turn it over to you to give an update on CPE, please.
Thank you, Amanda. As KDE has, CPE has been working, focusing a lot of attention on the reopening plans of our institutions in the fall. And I guess I should not say reopening. They were never closed, but the process of bringing students back into the dorms and having the residential experience and the face-to-face interaction. Institutions are working very hard on that, as well as developing their plans for instruction, whether that be online, face-to-face, or hybrid. Some other things I'd like to touch on, although as you all can imagine, the COVID-19 response has taken a whole lot of our energy and time and staff resources. I wanted to point out that on June 10th, Dr. Aaron Thompson led a webinar entitled Education, a Catalyst for Systematic Equity. That provided a historical context for the recent social unrest. He discussed the impact of a quality education and the interconnection of education, criminal justice, and the healthcare systems, and offered an agenda and solutions for going forward. We had more than 3,500 people look at the webinar so far, either in real time or after it was recorded. Some other things looking forward, strategically, CPE recently released a report called the Engineering Sector Analysis, which was a collaboration between CPE and EPSB, which is a national labor market analytics firm. This report predicts that engineering jobs will increase by a little more than 11% in Kentucky by 2029, and that will outpace the national average and drive the need for more college degrees in engineering. The findings are gaining traction among our economic development leaders and our campuses. And our next report on labor force issues will focus on Kentucky's growing need for healthcare workers. As Mary Pat Regan pointed out earlier, the Governor's Education Emergency Relief Fund, we are working hard on how to distribute that and looking into quality online instruction and support services, as well as the needs related to monitoring and testing and contact tracing. And we look forward to working with the cabinet and the governor's office on that. A new SREB Higher Education Recovery Task Force was created to convene higher education leaders across the southern region to address the challenges of COVID-19. Aaron Thompson is representing Kentucky at the state level, and both President Jackson from Murray State and President Bach from KCTCS are on board representing their respective sectors. And last but not least, CPE has a new Associate Vice President for P20 Policy and Initiatives, and is someone you know very well. Dr. Amanda Ellis will be coming on board July 1st and will be the liaison with this group going forward, so you will be in very good hands. She will be addressing teacher education issues, college readiness issues, transition from secondary to post-secondary issues, and I am very excited about that. So welcome aboard, Amanda. And that is all I have today.
Thank you, Melissa, very much. Does anybody have questions for Melissa for CPE?
Congratulations, Dr. Ellis.
Thank you. I am very excited. You will not get rid of me. I'm still on the board.
Okay.
Another capacity. But thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. So I guess we will turn it over, Rob, to Associate Commissioner Rob Akers to give an update from the office.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's good to be with you and good to see you, even though we're not together. I really appreciate your time and commitment, especially on this pretty day, to be here and engage in this important work. A lot's happened since our last meeting in April. Before I get to that update, I just wanted to share my appreciation with Leslie Cheatham, who's served the board the last couple years. She's managed a great deal of responsibilities, from serving as my administrative assistant, providing logistical support to the board, while serving as the main phone attendant and help desk attendant, which is just a little too much for anybody's plate. And so she's gone to work full-time in our certification department, supporting that work, more along the lines of what she did when she was actually over at EPSB, the agency. With that, though, I'm delighted to welcome Sharon Chester to the OELE team, where you've met her already, but she is going to provide administrative support for Cassie and me. Sharon has served the agency for several years and has a broad range of knowledge and experience in her work of the agency in various offices. And I'm certain that her addition to OELE will only help make us better. So we're delighted to have her with us. I do want to take a moment to just share that how much I'm going to miss Dr. Ellis being here at KDE. She's become a very good friend and a mentor and supporter, and was very instrumental in the transition of EPSB, the agency, back over to KDE, and helping me learn the universe of agency versus P12, which is a completely different universe. I am glad that she's going to CPE to serve as that bridge between P12 and higher education. I think it's critical. I think it's a really smart move on CPE's part, and I look forward to continuing our work together. Even though it's going to look a little different, I'm glad that she's still going to have a very important role in the work that we do. So let me dive into the update. First, I'll give you a little bit of a legislative update. 2 days after the April EPSB meeting, the General Assembly adjourned the 2020 regular session. For those of you that followed the session, you know that COVID-19 caused just a few disruptions for the General Assembly. In December, the EPSB approved legislative priorities for the session that included revisions to KRS 161-1211 to allow national board certification to qualify for an educator's rank 2, and revisions to KRS 161027, which removed the requirement of applicants for principalship to successfully complete a specialized assessment. And that recommendation came from our UPPI working group that you've been hearing about quite a bit for the last few years. So the Senate Bill 174 passage in the General Assembly was signed by Governor Beshear on April 24th. And the bill is set to become effective July 15th, and it accomplished both of those priorities. And we're pretty excited to be able to have moved those up the agenda and get those passed for our partners. And later in the meeting, staff will present a regulatory amendment to align with the revised law. One other bill that we should mention is House Bill 341. This bill was proposed by Representative Regina Huff. She's the chair of the House Education Committee and a retired teacher. The bill, which passed the House of Representatives, proposed to allow retired teachers to renew their certification on professional development. It did not pass out of the Senate, but staff has been working behind the scenes, and we will be providing a recommendation for your consideration on how retired teachers may be able to retain their certification in a pretty common sense and I think fair manner. So just kind of be on the lookout for that, especially with the teaching pipeline being what it is, and with us struggling to find substitute teachers. We certainly don't want to alienate this piece of our workforce. Having experienced teachers available to come back to the classroom in different roles is critical, and we want to make that, like I said, a kind of a systematized and common sense move to get that done. Since our last meeting, OELE has been working cross-agency with cross-agency and with our EPP partners to plan for possible fall scenarios for the return of students and students conducting clinical observations back into the school setting. Obviously, the goal is to get teachers and students back into schools in a safe and healthy manner. In conversations with superintendents at our educational co-ops, I've collected feedback regarding their willingness to host student teachers and observers. They indicated that they want EPPs to work directly with them to plan for how they can address that reentry. I did share this information with KACTE leadership. I feel sure those conversations are occurring now. If they are not occurring now, I would really encourage our members of our EPPs, especially those working with field placement and clinical observations, to reach out to your local partners to talk about what getting those students back in the classrooms will look like. I think it's absolutely critical that we get our student teachers back in the classroom and engaged in whatever mechanisms they can. That maintaining the teacher pipeline is huge, and if we don't get our student teachers clinically trained and prepared, that's just a huge issue for us. I can understand maybe a little more flexibility and some innovation around clinical hours for observation if need be, and we've already seen some of our EPPs really become innovative around trying to provide that experience. We know that on-site and in-person is always going to be preferred, but I do believe that there are some other options for gaining some of those pre-student teaching clinical hours, but I do not believe that there is a substitute for in-person student teaching. So I would really encourage our EPPs to be reaching out and talking to those local folks with whom you work to make sure that you have cooperating teachers who are still willing to host students and to see if you need to cultivate some new ones and see what those needs from the local school districts are. So this is the peak season for certification, and the spring provides the highest numbers of program graduates. Currently, we have over 4,000 active certification applications with our staff of 6 people who are working diligently to certify educators as quickly as possible. We used to have some seasonal support from some retirees. We were not able to secure that extra employment this summer, so we really are just gutting it out with a skeleton crew. They are working very hard. We've extended their hours as well over the past couple weeks. That being said, our RFP for cloud-based certification program is working its way very slowly through the state approval channels. We've had our work at KDE done for quite a while. It is bogged down in approval outside of our agency. That has thrown us off our desire to be able to have the program up and running by December, for the December graduates to be able to test it and break it, and then have it, hopefully all the bugs worked out by next May. That timeline looks like we're going to hopefully be able to have it up and running by May. It's a critical piece of technology that we need. It's long overdue. Now that we have the resources and the tech support to make this happen, we've got to have it happening. Just know that we're continuing to try to push it on our end, but it's out of our hands at the moment, and I will continue to update on it. I mean, the RFP is complete. We had hoped by now that we'd be able to share the contract and vendor with you at this meeting, and that we would have the next 6 months to get the platform built. So it's going to happen. It's just not on our preferred timeline right now, but I will continue to keep you informed on that. One of the critical parts of our work in OELE, and we don't talk about it a lot because it's not necessarily an EPSB part of their work, but we are very tightly aligned with educator recruitment and development. Our Go Teach KY program continues to gather momentum, and the work continues to scale out with a large focus on teachers helping teachers. I just ask that you give those programs a look on social media, follow them if you like, but there's some really good work and good collaboration that's starting to come together. We are collaborating with KEA on this, and there's a lot of support for our program from them, and so they're happy to help share that and support that as well. With them having 40,000 folks in their network, that just helps us to scale out as well and to uplift the profession and to help our recruitment. I am excited to share that we were able to secure $1 million of CARES fund thanks to our leadership here at KDE to help provide support for new teachers who were unable to have a full teaching experience. We are developing some induction supports to share with districts who wish to receive some support for their new teachers. It won't be a reconstitution of the K-TIP program. There are some districts who are doing phenomenal work on their own out there, and we want to be able to support that. But there are some districts that have not really been able to pull together an induction program, and so we're going to give them some options on some programs that they can implement. We will tie the dollars to some assurances from districts that they're going to kind of meet some basic expectations around teacher induction. It won't be a ton of money based on previous years. It might be between $500 and $800 per new teacher, but if you have 10 new teachers in a district, that could give you $5,000 to $8,000. That could go somewhere else to help support some other programs. So I'm glad that we were able to secure some dollars to do that. We were also able to secure $250,000 to continue to support our students who are in the CATE program and our Educators Rising initiative, so that can continue. It was not funded in the 2021 fiscal budget, which a lot of stuff because of the COVID crisis really had to be pared back. But again, we were able to secure those dollars out of CARES fund to help support that important program as well. And the CATE program, just to remind you, is our Kentucky Academy for Equity in Teaching, and that's our program to help diversify the workforce, which I think is obviously a critical program to maintain, especially in these times. So moving on to today's agenda, you have a lot to consider today. We'll bring updates on option 1 based on the critical feedback you provided earlier this winter. I think you'll be pleased with that work. There are several waivers that you will consider today. And I just want to share that I think the waivers you granted in providing COVID-related relief was very well considered and measured based on what I've seen nationwide. In fact, you were ahead of many states, and I think you really provided the right amount of balanced relief. I've seen some states where I feel like they've gone way overboard, and I don't think long-term that's going to be very helpful. I feel very confident that your judgment on those waivers is going to be what's best for our state. You'll review a lot of educator ethics cases today, and I just want to take a second to recognize and praise the work of the educator ethics team in continuing this work under difficult circumstances. There's a lot of moving parts and actually a lot of paper still with that process. And getting all that taken care of through the processes and systems has really been seamless. And I appreciate Chelsea Young and all of her staff of attorneys and support personnel in their work for that. I also have to commend the work of OELE staff in maintaining a high level of productivity in this transition to working from home. I want to share how much I appreciate the commissioner allowing us the opportunity to work safely from home. We're very fortunate to have access to such strong technology that has allowed us to continue our work without any breaks in service. We've been closely working with some partners from our EPPs to revise and improve our program review process in an effort to make that process more reflective and meaningful. I would like to say it's been a fast process. It hasn't been. It takes a while to kind of look at what you've done and try to figure out what's valuable and what's maybe outlived its purposes and what's required by statute and what's not. I do feel like we're making progress. I've solicited some really frank feedback from some partners, and I appreciate that. And it's important to get that feedback sometimes, even if it's hard to hear, to be able to improve and to strike the right balance of high expectations and the right expectations as we try to support our EPPs and get high quality teachers into the classroom. You know, the most important thing for us to do is to continue to work to provide an effective pipeline of highly qualified teachers. And I think now more than ever, it's critical to ensure that all students have access to highly qualified, equitable instruction and opportunities. And it all starts with having great teachers. There is no way to overstate that in my humble opinion, this is a Rob statement, not a KDE statement, but the better and the higher quality teachers we have who are committed to equitable instruction for all students, and the more we can provide those equitable opportunities, the better we can help to remedy some of these issues that we're seeing in society that I think we are uniquely situated to be able to do. So thank you for allowing me to share this lengthy update. I'm proud of the good work going on at OELE. I appreciate your all's commitment, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Rob, I'll just share that I'm finishing my 5th year serving on this board, believe it or not. And I've witnessed the increase in efficiency and productivity, as you mentioned, going through our ethics cases and such. It's amazing, the work that I'm seeing. So I really appreciate just how much improvement I've seen over the last couple of years. We're just moving through things so much quick. We think we have large dockets and information to look at now, but it's really come a long way, and I appreciate all that tremendously.
Thank you. I can tell you that the staff works tirelessly and with servants' hearts to try to do really good work for the board and for our teachers. So I appreciate you calling that out. Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Dr. Ellis, anything else?
No, ma'am. I believe that concludes our report, and it's back to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. On June 28th, 2019, then Governor Bevin issued Executive Order 2019-500, adding 5 parent or private sector members to the composition of the EPSB. David Dalton, Jonathan Gay, Melinda Goebel, Jeff Jennings, and Michelle Lacefield were appointed to fill these positions. During the 2020 regular session, the Kentucky Senate declined to confirm these positions, ending the members' appointments. I want to take this opportunity to thank these members for their service to the EPSB and wish them well in their future endeavors. Moving on to action items. These items are presented to the board for action and will require a motion and a vote. Sharon Salzman and Cassie Trueblood will present the first item, A.
Good morning. Action item A is the to align the 16 KAR 3090 to Senate Bill 174 that Rob was talking about earlier. It removes the requirement of the Kentucky Specialty Test of Instructional and Administrative Practices for principal certification. So that's what this is for. And I think this is kind of threefold, so I'm not really sure how the voting is going to work. But it's a minor change that I know the board has previously voiced support for. So we are recommending that the board also waive a second reading of this regulation. And if the board does approve this action item, the staff also asked the board to allow certification staff to begin processing applications for principal certification that have a passing score on the SLLA test only once the new law takes effect July 15th.
Thank you, Sharon. And that can be accomplished if the board, today wishes to approve the amendment. Simply having a motion and vote to approve the amendment and allow certification staff to process accordingly would allow that to go ahead and happen beginning July 15th.
Okay, we'll move forward. Since this item is on the agenda for action, I will need a motion for action item A.
Daniel Morgan, I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Daniel. And do I have a second?
John
Justin
Robinson.
Mitchell.
I second John Robinson.
John Robinson, thank you. The motion before the board is to approve the amendment for certifications for advanced educational leadership as was just described by Ms. Salzman and Ms. Trueblood. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan,
This is Melanie Callahan, a vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Vote of yes.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, yes.
and Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson. Aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Next, we have action item B, Ms. Salzman.
Yes, so action item B is the school leaders licensure assessment cut score. So ETS adopted the school leaders licensure, the new one, 6990, and this new one has been aligned with the professional standards for education leaders, which the EPSB has also adopted the standards for the preparation of all advanced educational leaders. So ETS has a multi-state standard setting study, and they bring experts from all across the United States in to look at these questions, and they have recommended a cut score of 151. So we are also asking that the cut score be approved as 151.
Okay, thank you. I'll need a motion.
Daniel Morgan, I make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Justin Mitchell, second.
Thank you, Justin. The motion before the board is to approve school leaders licensure assessment cut score. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll again for a vote?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, yes.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson. Aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Next, we have Ms. Hawkinsmith with action item C.
This is Margaret Hawkinsmith. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, this is an action item for Boise College with the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. When a college or university desires to start an educator preparation program, there are 4 stages that they go through to get ultimate state accreditation or national accreditation. Boise College, the board voted in August of 2018 to approve their stage 3, which allowed them a 2-year temporary authorization to operate as an EPP, meaning they can admit candidates and exit candidates and recommend for certification. Once the board approved that EPP for stage 3, the EPP, Boise, then makes a determination whether they want to seek state-only accreditation 2 years out or a joint national and state accreditation. Boise College chose a joint national and state accreditation. So 2 years out from the board's approval, in August of 2018, they would have had a site visit in August of 20. And this is a request to extend for 7 additional months their temporary authorization with the EPSB because the national accreditor scheduled their visit in spring of 2021. So that the board is being asked to just extend for 7 months their temporary authorization.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion, Sherry Powers, make a motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Do I have a second?
Daniel Morgan, second.
Thank you, Daniel. The motion before the board is to approve the extension of temporary authorization for Boise College. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll?
Melanie Callahan,
This is Melanie Callahan. Vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, yes.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
The motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Hawkinsmith.
Thank you.
Next, we have action item D presented by Ms. Horde and Ms. Trueblood.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Action item D is the exceptional work experience. Regulation 16 KAR 9010. Crystal Horde is our expert on exceptional work experience and works with that frequently, so she is going to be able to answer any questions that you have about that particular route. But I did want to go through the regulation amendments with you. Now, you have seen this regulation previously, and exceptional work experience is also known as the option 1 route to alternative certification. It is one of those 8 routes that's enumerated in statute from the General Assembly. But specifically under this route, an individual with exceptional work experience who has an offer of employment from a school district can obtain certification if they meet the degree and GPA requirements and have an academic major or a passing score on the academic content assessment. Now, previously, the statute and regulation limited this option to high school certification. However, that has been removed from statute, and this board has also approved option 1 certification for the middle school, as well as for those K through 12 certificates. For example, you've seen it with dance, theater, things of that nature, where the content was easily aligned with the exceptional work experience. At the last discussion of the amendment to this regulation, the board wanted to make some changes to the amendment. Specifically, you wanted to revise the definition of exceptional work experience to align with the original definition. Staff has made that change. And then also there was a lot of discussion around the application of this route to those population-based certificates, those certificates that are able to teach all content to a specific age group. That's your elementary certification, special education certifications. And with that, the board felt that exceptional work experience did not align to those certificates. So that change has been made to specify that while this does apply to those other content-based certificates for middle school certification and K through 12, it does not apply to the population-based certificates. Are there any questions about option 1 certification or about the updated regulation?
Cassie, can you repeat? This is Sherry Powers. Can you repeat that last part? You froze, and I didn't.
I apologize. So, yes, the population-based certificates. At the last discussion of this, the board felt that the option 1 exceptional work experience did not translate to those population-based certificates. There just was not exceptional work experience that was going to qualify these individuals for certification because it would not show that they were able to teach all of those contents. Whereas with the other certifications that it does apply to, you can easily see, if the certification is in a content area, exceptional work experience in that content will apply. So therefore, the change was made to make clear that exceptional work experience cannot be utilized for certification for a population-based certificate.
Any other questions for Cassie or Crystal? We'll go ahead and ask for a motion. Can I have a motion?
Justin Mitchell makes the motion.
Thank you, Justin. And do I have a second?
Daniel Morgan, second.
Thank you, Daniel. The motion before the board is for approval of the professional certificate for exceptional work experience, the amendment. Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to thank the office for making those changes to the language for population-based certificates.
I agree. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing that, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a question. So on this certificate, this will be then for 5 years, or how long will this certificate, and then how do they renew the certificate?
Yes, so the length of the certificate as well as the renewal is put forth in statute that's in KRS 161048, which does specify that the certificate can be issued for that 5-year period. It is comparable to other professional certificates and then is subject to the same renewal requirements as other certificates.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Hi, this is Elizabeth Smith. I just have a question. So people, if they are offered a position with the district, does that mean they will not have any coursework at all related to teaching, like classroom management, or how will they learn some teaching skills they may not have had in their professional career?
Cassie, do you want me to take that one?
Sorry, I was talking away and realized that my microphone was still muted. I apologize. So unfortunately, that is one of the trade-offs that does come with the alternative routes to certification, is that they will not specifically have that pedagogy training. They do have the exceptional work experience. And a lot of times what this board has seen, these individuals do have some type of teaching experience that goes along with that. You've seen that in some of those instances. However, it would really be up to the districts when they are making these offers of employment and putting these individuals into the classroom to ensure that they are providing them with those additional supports for, classroom management, for making that transition from the exceptional work experience to the classroom setting.
John Robinson here. I just wanted to say that I am a teacher that proceeded through a exceptional work experience to get my certification, and I had to go through extra training. We did something called a New Teacher Institute. They sent us off for a while, showed us how to do lesson plans and everything, and I still had to continue through an educational program where I was given an advisor through Moorhead, and I had to go through and complete certain classwork for managing classrooms and other things related to working in the classroom. So we're not all just thrown right into, we are thrown into the flood, but at the same time, we are given the support.
This is Sherry Powers. Cassie, I was having trouble pulling up the agenda book, but so this applies to K-12 special ed, middle and secondary, is that correct?
So this would not, special education would fall into one of the population-based certificates for which this would not be a valid route to certification. And that was based on the comments from the board at the last discussion.
That's the same as early childhood as well. It would be a population.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
But it does include elementary, is that correct?
Elementary is one of the population-based certificates. So a population-based certificate means a certificate for teaching elementary, exceptional children, or interdisciplinary early childhood education. So those are certifications that would not be able to be pursued through this route. And based on again, that change was made based on the board's decisions at the last review of this, and the feeling that because those certifications are for a population, they are required to teach all contents to that population, and therefore this route did not translate to that.
So this is for a content-specific area.
Yes. Yes.
So am I understanding this correctly? We're just changing it from 9 through 12 to 6 through 12.
It could also apply to those K through 12 certifications. Again, you've seen those with the dance,
right,
PE, theater, things of that nature.
Right.
But
Okay.
again, those are the content specific ones where they would be able to show that they have exceptional work experience in that content.
That makes sense. If that's the case, I'm more comfortable. I'm still struggling with, and this isn't something that I think this conversation would change. I appreciate that somebody spoke up about their personal experience and that they were given supports. I wish there was a way to provide some of the more pedagogy prior to the classroom. But if we're already doing this and this is just extending it down a little bit, and we're not encompassing the elementary teachers who have the general classroom, and we're not encompassing special ed, I feel more comfortable. Again, I wish there was a way to gain more pedagogy. I can't speak. Pedagogy experience prior to, but I feel more comfortable at least with the changes that were made. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. And again, this is a route that was established by the General Assembly that does have that recognition of exceptional work experience to translate to the classroom.
And Cassie and Crystal, they still would have to come through the waiver committee just like normal, correct? So we would see all of these and get to.
So they don't come through the waiver committee. They come specifically before the full board, because the board does still make the determination. And thank you, Justin, that's a very valid point to make here, is that the board would still see these, because ultimately you make the determination that the experience that this individual has presented to you is deemed exceptional work experience.
Thank you.
Can I make one more comment, please, Cassie or Dr. Hedgepeth?
Yes.
I would just say I will support this and appreciate the work that's being done with this. We all know that in this field, we're needing quality people to be educators. And so I think this is very exciting. I would say, again, this goes back to, though, we're needing that apprentice year or whatever you want to call it, about that first year and support. And so it's so important that at the district level that we make sure that those supports are in place and that we have some type of partnership with higher ed to support this transition year. It's very important for all constituents involved that they have that. So I just wanted to make that comment and thank you.
John Robinson here. We still had to go through KTIP and everything. So there is that apprenticeship year. We are assigned a mentor, and there are people in the board does, at least my board did keep an eye on us.
And John, yes, if KTIP is funded again, these individuals, as with all new teachers, would have to go through the Kentucky Teacher Internship Program. So that is still in statute. It just was unfunded during the last biennium and is currently unfunded in the next budget as well.
And so that's why I made this discussion and made that comment, and I apologize. Yes. That we've got to make sure that we have something from a district level to support this, since KTIP is not currently, however you want to say it. Well, I don't know what the proper legal term is, Cassie, unfunded. Yes. So we do need to support this.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chester, will you please call our roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan.
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier.
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins.
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath.
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell.
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan.
Daniel Morgan, yes.
Ellen Murphy.
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers.
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson.
John Robinson, Aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Next, we have action item E. Ms. Hort? Action item E.
And Donna, I will assist Crystal with this one as well. So the request before the board here is to allow 2.5 years of qualified teaching experience to meet the requirements for certification renewal. This is going to be specific to those educators whose certificate is expiring on June 30th, 2020. Under the renewal regulation, to renew the certificate, the teacher either would need 6 hours of approved college credit, or they would need 3 years of teaching experience. Due to the COVID-19 crisis that we faced, well, are still facing, but that really hit our districts in the spring and led to district closures, some educators were not able to obtain that last half year of experience that they needed. This is especially hitting those educators that were using substitute teaching experience, were gaining that to renew their certificate. With the district closures and moving to the NTI for the spring semester, that was just not needed. Districts did not have a need for substitutes, and so they were unable to obtain that experience and renew their certificates. So we are asking that just for that specific group that is expiring, that the board would approve the renewal based on 2.5 years of that qualified experience.
Okay. Thank you. I will now take a motion for E.
Aaron Collins, motion.
Thank you, Aaron. Do I have a second?
John
Daniel
Robinson,
Morgan,
second.
Okay, I think, John? Or did
Yes.
you did speak, okay.
Yeah.
The motion before us is to approve a request for 2.5 years of qualified teaching experience to meet the requirements for certification renewal. Is there any discussion? Comments? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chester, will you please call roll?
I'm up next, but he needs to get his collar on him.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. We're moving on to waivers. And of course, as you know, we have several. And so we will be doing a roll call vote for each waiver as we go through. So I do appreciate your patience through all of this. The board is now ready to review waiver request. KRS 1610281R provides that the board has the authority to waive its administrative regulations when a request is submitted by an applicant for certification, a post-secondary institution, or a superintendent of a local school district. When requesting a waiver, the requesting party must submit to the board a written request along with appropriate justification for the waiver. EPSB staff reviews the waivers with the board's waiver committee during an open meeting immediately prior to this board meeting, and the waiver committee formulates recommendation. Today, Kathy Jackson, Allison Bell, and Crystal Ward will present the waiver request to the full board, and Sherry Powers, waiver committee chair, will present the committee's recommendation for final action. So we will begin, Ms. Jackson, with waiver A.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Waiver A has been received from 10 education preparation programs: Alice Lloyd College, Berea College, Eastern Kentucky University, Georgetown College, Kentucky Wesleyan College, Morehead State University, Murray State University, Northern Kentucky University, Union College, and the University of the Cumberlands. They have requested that waivers for a portion of the 200 clinical field hours for some of their students due to school closures for COVID-19. Each EPP has provided letters of support and a list of their students that need to have some of their hours waived before they can student teach this fall.
Okay, thank you. This item is on the agenda for action, and I'm going to need a motion.
Kim Chevalier.
Thank you, Kim. Do I have a second?
Melanie
Daniel Moore.
Callahan, I second.
Okay, Melanie,
Yes.
thank you. The motion before the board is approval for the request to waive field experience hours due to district closures. Is there any further discussion? Questions? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Chesser, please call roll for our votes.
Donna, did you want me to share the waiver committee recommendation?
Did I skip that? Shoot, I apologize. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, we have to have that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought.
Yes, you did. Start that.
The waiver committee met this morning to review the waiver request and supporting documentation. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver, and therefore the committee recommends that the board approve the waiver request.
So Kim and Melanie, can I still use your motion and second? You good?
Yes, first.
Yes.
Kim Chevalier.
Yes, thank you. So now, are there any discussion or questions? Now, Ms. Chesser, will you please call roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan,
This is Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, recuse myself.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Next, we have waiver B.
Waiver B is from Midway University. They've requested an additional 18 days to be waived for their student teacher, Joy Johnson, for the spring semester due to her inability to work with her cooperating teacher on NTI. The university has provided many forms of things that she could do to kind of take place of this. The request and a letter of support have been submitted, and the board had previously approved 17 days at the April meeting.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead, Donna? Okay. The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request submitted by Midway College, and the committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board approve the waiver request.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Kim
Justin
Chevalier
Mitchell.
first.
Okay, I have Kim. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Justin Mitchell will second.
Justin. Motion before the board is to approve the request to waive student teaching days for Joy Johnson. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Chesser, please call our roll.
Melanie Callahan,
This is Melanie Callahan. I recuse myself, please.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, yes.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. That motion passes. Let's move now to waiver C.
Waiver C is from Lindsay Wilson College. They have requested 35 days be waived for their student teacher, Jacob Brockman, for the spring semester. He was called up for active duty with the National Guard. The request and a letter of support have been submitted. The board previously approved 4 days for Jacob at the April meeting.
Dr. Powers?
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request submitted by Lindsay Wilson College. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board approve the waiver.
Yeah, at this time, I will need a motion.
Aaron Collins, motion to accept and appreciate his service to our state.
Thank you, Aaron. Can I have a second?
Daniel Morgan, second.
Daniel,
Agreed.
thank you. Yes, I agree. The motion before the board is to approve a request to waive student teaching days for Jacob Brockman. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, Ms. Chesser, we need roll call for vote.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
Okay. John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next, we have waiver D.
Waiver D is from Thomas More University. They've submitted a request for a waiver for their student, who is a theater major, Catherine Walton, for an alternative student teaching placement for the fall 2020 semester. State regulation requires that students seeking K through 12 certification should split their placement evenly between elementary and middle school, high school. Under normal circumstances, they would have submitted an alternative waiver request. However, the EPP was unable to obtain a letter of support from the district due to closures for the COVID-19. There are few, if any, certified theater teachers in elementary schools. Therefore, the university is requesting 2 placements, one in middle school and one in high school. Can I go ahead and say, and Cassie, you can answer this. Waiver DE is the exact same thing with a different student. Can they vote on this at once, or they have to do twice?
We will need to vote on each waiver request individually. Sorry.
That's all right.
Good try, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, the waiver committee reviewed the alternative placement submitted by Thomas More University. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the request. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board approve the request.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Melanie?
Melanie.
Second?
Stickler will second.
Jamie, was that you?
Yes.
Right. I have a little bit of feedback there for a second. The motion before the board is to approve the alternative student teaching placement request for Catherine Walton. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Chester, will you please call our roll again?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion for waiver D passes. Let's move on to waiver E.
Okay, waiver E is from Thomas More University. They've requested that one of their students, Natalie Ballou, a theater major for the fall 2020 semester. State regulation 16 KAR 5040 requires that students seeking K through 12 certification should split their placement evenly between elementary, middle school, and high school. Under normal circumstances, this would have been submitted as an alternative waiver request. However, the EPP was unable to obtain a letter of support from the district due to closures for COVID-19. The student teacher will be placed in a middle school, high school, and supporting documents are attached. As you know, there are few, if any, certified theater teachers in elementary schools.
The Waiver Committee reviewed the alternative placements submitted by Thomas More University. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the request. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board approve the request.
Is there a motion?
Justin Mitchell makes a motion.
Thank you, Justin. Second.
Daniel Morgan, second.
Thank you, Daniel. The motion before the board is approval for alternative student teaching placement request for Natalie Ballou. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Chesser, please call our roll.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, vote of yes.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, yes.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you, and motion passes. Next, we have Ms. Bell with waiver F.
Good morning.
Morning.
Waiver F is a request from Morehead State University to waive the admission requirements for Dr. Will Kayetan to allow him to be admitted to the school superintendent preparation program. In addition to the waiver request for the admission requirements, would also be a request to waive the 2-year leadership experience for certification.
Okay, the Waiver Committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by the applicant and Morehead State University. The committee did not find exceptional circumstances to justify the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board deny the waiver request.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve. Ellen Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. Second.
Kim Chevalier, second.
Kim.
And Donna, just to clarify, is that a motion to approve the committee's recommendation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So when I restate this, it should say the motion before the board is to deny the request. Is that how I should say this?
Yes, the motion before the board is to approve the committee's recommendation to deny the waiver request.
Okay. So the motion before the board is to approve the committee's recommendation to deny the request to waive admission and certification requirements for superintendent preparation program and certification for Will Kayetan. Any other discussion?
So this is Melanie. So when we vote, we're going to vote yes on denial. So we'll still
Yes.
vote aye for yes, correct?
Yes.
Just clarifying. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, hearing no other discussion, Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, recuse myself.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. So the motion of the recommendation of the committee passes. Next, we have waiver G presented by Ms. Horde.
Thank you. Waiver G is for Mr. Jason Disney. This is a waiver. He's requesting a waiver of the 6 credit hour renewal requirement stated in 16 KAR 2020. He is a occupation-based teacher in Jefferson County Schools. He was unable to complete the 6 semester hours towards the associate's degree program due to extenuating medical circumstances.
The waiver committee reviewed waiver requests submitted by the applicant. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Thank you. At this time, I need a motion.
John
Daniel
Robinson.
Morgan, motion.
Okay, I have John. Thank you. Do I have a second? Second?
Daniel Morgan, second.
Daniel, thank you. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive OCTE renewal requirements for Jason Disney. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser, please call our roll.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, recuse.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Next, we have waiver H.
Yes, waiver H is requested by Fayette County Schools for Miss Emma Farrow. This is requesting a waiver of 16 KAR 4030, which requires out-of-state prepared educators to hold the equivalent certification in the state where they completed their educator preparation program. She completed her program at Eastern Nazarene University in Massachusetts. However, due to the COVID-19 crisis, she was unable to take the test required for the out-of-state certificate in Massachusetts. However, knowing that she was going to be relocating to Kentucky, she did complete and pass all of Kentucky's certification requirements for our equivalent certification for elementary P through 5.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request submitted by Fayette County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Justin Mitchell,
Thank you, Justin. Second?
Daniel Morgan.
Daniel. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive equivalent certification for out-of-state prepared educator Emma Farrow. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Let's move on to waiver I.
Waiver I is requested by Mr. Sean Lawrence. This is, he is requesting a waiver of 16 KAR 8020, which is the rank 2 regulation. He is requesting to allow a Master of Arts in Ethical Leadership at Thomas More University to meet the requirements of rank 2. He is currently, he's recently completed a teacher preparation program in middle grades education at Thomas More, is currently employed in some capacity by the university, wants to pursue his master's program. However, Thomas More does not offer a master's program in K-12 education. Therefore, he is requesting this waiver.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by the applicant. The committee did not find exceptional circumstances to justify the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board deny the waiver request.
Okay, and I will say this as to accommodate what the committee is saying. Is there a motion to support the recommendation of the committee?
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Okay, it's second. Second.
Kim Chevalier, second.
Thank you, Kim. The motion before the board is to approve the recommendation of the committee to deny the request to allow a Master of Arts in Ethical Leadership for rank 2 for Sean Lawrence. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chesser, will you please call the roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan,
This is Melanie Callahan, vote of yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
and Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes to approve the recommendation of the committee. Next, we have waiver J.
Waiver J is requested by Allen County Schools on behalf of Mr. Cameron Cook. This is a waiver of 16 KAR 2120, which specifies that teachers can only receive one emergency certificate except under 2 extenuating circumstances. The this individual does not meet those two extenuating circumstances. Therefore, the district is requesting the waiver. This is to fill a physics position at the high school. Mr. Cook is planning to pursue the Option 6 program. However, due to his degree in biology, he needs additional content coursework in the area of physics to meet admission requirements.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request submitted by the Allen County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Okay, I need a motion.
Jamie Stickler makes the motion.
Thank you, Jamie. Second.
Kim Chevalier, second.
Thank you, Kim. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Cameron Cook. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chester, will you please call the roll?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Waiver K.
Waiver K is requested by Christian County Schools on behalf of Miss Amanda Ashton. This also is a waiver of 16 KAR 2120 for a second one-year emergency certificate. This teacher is a currently certified special ed and IECE teacher, currently filling in a high school math position at Hopkinsville High School. She is planning to pursue the secondary math certification through the highly qualified route or the proficiency evaluation route. However, both routes do require her to obtain some additional content coursework.
Okay. The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation by Christian County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
You're on mute, Donna.
Sorry. Do I have a motion for waiver K?
Daniel Morgan, motion.
Thank you. You
John
gotta watch
Robinson,
me.
second.
Was that John for second? Okay. Motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Amanda Ashton. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chesser, pull the call row.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan voted yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Motion passes. Thank you. Now we'll move on to waiver L.
Waiver L is also requested by Christian County Schools on behalf of Thomas Wise. This is also a waiver of 16 KAR 2120. He has also been filling one of the high school math vacancies positions at Hopkinsville High School. He has a degree in business, is pursuing admission to the Option 6 program. However, he needs additional coursework in the area of mathematics to qualify for admission.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by Christian County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances in justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Okay, at this time, I will need a motion.
Justin Mitchell makes the motion.
Thank you, Justin. And do I have a second?
Second, Daniel Morgan.
Daniel? The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Thomas Wise. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chester, please call up the roll.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, aye.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Next, we have waiver M.
Waiver M is requested by Garrett County Schools on behalf of Miss Leanne Kirkpatrick. This is also a waiver of 2120. She has been filling a high school math position. She has a degree in anthropology and obviously needs to complete some additional mathematics coursework or in the content area of mathematics in order to be admitted to an Option 6 program.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request submitted by Garrett County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Kim Chevalier,
Morgan motion.
first.
I think I heard Kim. Second?
Daniel.
Daniel. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Leanne Kirkpatrick. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chester?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson,
Rachel Watson, yes.
voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Waiver N.
Waiver N is brought by Powell County Schools on behalf of Ms. Catherine Moore. This is also a waiver of 2120. Ms. Moore has been filling a middle school English position and plans to pursue option 6. She has a degree in communications, but still needs additional coursework in the area of English language arts to meet the admission requirements to option 6.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by Powell County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Kim Chevalier first.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Do I have a second?
Daniel Morgan,
Justin
second.
Mitchell,
Justin, I think I heard. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Catherine Moore. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser, let's call the roll for a vote.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan voted yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Next, we have waiver O.
Waiver O is requested by Christian County Schools for a teacher who has been in a high school Spanish position. This is also a waiver of 2120 for him to receive a second one-year emergency certificate while he pursues option 6 for Spanish. This waiver is also so that he can complete the coursework needed to also raise his GPA. He has completed 2 courses and has raised his GPA and needs additional courses as well.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by Christian County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
All right. Can I have a motion, please?
Daniel Morgan, so moved.
Daniel, do I have a second?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie, thank you. The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Christian County Schools. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan voted yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion for waiver O passes. So finally, we have waiver P.
Yes, and waiver P is brought by Todd County Schools. This is also a waiver of 2120 for a second emergency and additional coursework to continue to raise the GPA. This teacher was filling a chemistry position for 1920, is pursuing option 6, but needs some additional courses in the STEM area to raise the GPA and to qualify for admission to option 6.
The waiver committee reviewed the waiver request and supporting documentation submitted by Todd County Schools. The committee found exceptional circumstances justifying the waiver. Therefore, the committee recommends that the board grant the waiver.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion. Daniel Morgan.
Do I have a second?
Justin Mitchell.
Justin? The motion before the board is to approve the request to waive emergency certificate requirements for Todd County Schools. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chester, I'm thinking you have these by memory at this point, the names in order. I think I do. Will you please call our roll for vote?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
And the motion passes for waiver P. Before moving on, I'd be remiss to not thank the waiver committee. You guys had a lot of work to do this morning, and I really appreciate that. I don't know that we've ever gone to P in the alphabet on waivers. So important work. I thank you for that. Alternative route to certification applications. We have 3. These applications are pursuing the option 1, exceptional work experience route to certification. This is one of the alternative routes established by the legislature in KRS 161048. An applicant with exceptional work experience must have an offer of employment from a local school district, a bachelor's or graduate's degree meeting minimum GPA requirements, and an academic major or a passing score on the academic content assessment in the area in which certification is being sought. The applications will be presented by Ms. Hord. So we'll start with A. Ms. Hord.
Thank you. Letter A is for Andrew Casey. Henderson County Schools has submitted the application in the area of theater, which, just to kind of circle back to our previous discussion on the amendment to 9010, this is what this is one of those certifications that we were referring to. I know Cassie had mentioned that somebody who has the degree or particularly the exceptional work experience in a particular academic content area. So just to kind of mention that once again. So Mr. Casey has a bachelor's degree in theater. He has over 10 years of work experience producing, writing, editing, theater productions, short films. He's also been a theater instructor. He's also an owner and operator of his own video production company. So he has a lot of the back of the house, so to speak, experience in addition to the live performance. And all materials were submitted through the application process by Henderson County Schools.
Okay. I'll need a motion for Andrew Casey.
This is Melanie. I make a motion.
Thank you, Melanie. Second?
Daniel, second.
Daniel. The motion before the board is to approve. Okay, this is for option 1 for Andrew Casey for theater. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chesser, we need the roll for vote.
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. Next, we have application B.
Application B is for Miss Leanne O'Brien. Frankfurt Independent has submitted the application for exceptional work experience in the area of American Sign Language. Miss O'Brien has a bachelor's degree in American Sign Language interpreting. She has over 4 years of work experience as an educational interpreter for both Frankfurt Independent Schools and Franklin County Public Schools. She holds a current license with the Kentucky Board of Interpreters with the Kentucky Deaf and Hard of Hearing Commission.
All right, is there a motion?
John Robinson, I'll make a motion.
John, do I have a second?
Jamie Stickler, second.
Jamie, thank you. So the motion before the board is to approve the option 1 application for Leanne O'Brien in American Sign Language. Any discussion?
And Crystal, that is an area of certification, ASL?
Yes, it is an area. However, we have there's no approved programs in the state for it. So at this time, the only way that someone can get certified through ASL is either through emergency certification, adjunct certification, or exceptional work experience.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chesser?
Melanie Callahan,
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier,
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins,
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath,
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell,
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan,
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy,
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers,
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson,
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith,
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler,
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. The motion passes. Let's move to application C.
Application C is for Dr. Miss Ann Gaines. This is brought forth by Pineville Independent Schools for the area of biology, grades 8 through 12. Dr. Gaines has over 30 years experience in veterinary medicine. She has a doctorate of veterinary medicine from Auburn University.
Okay, I'll need a motion.
Daniel Morgan motion.
First.
I got you, Kim. Second.
Daniel.
Daniel. The motion before the board is to approve the option 1 application for Ann Gaines in biology, grades 8 through 12. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Chester, will you please call the roll?
Melanie Callahan.
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier.
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins.
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath.
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell.
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan.
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy.
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers.
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson.
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith.
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler.
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you, and the motion passes. I will now open the floor to any board member for board comments. Does anyone have anything they wish to share? An observation on my behalf, which you all are seeing, is it's really a reality to see the shortage in critical areas today. All of the requests for extensions for emergency certificates, option 1's probably the most I've seen. So that's interesting to see all this really hitting us. And that is an area that we need to pull some folks into, motivated to teach these areas. All right, last call for comments. All right, this time I believe we're ready to go into closed session pursuant to KRS 618101C and J to conduct a character and fitness review and to review potential actions relating to complaints and reports. At this time, I will need a motion to go into closed session.
So move.
Okay, Sherry. Second.
John Robinson, second.
John, thank you. The motion now before the board is a motion to go into closed session. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call one more time. Ms. Chester?
Melanie Callahan.
Melanie Callahan, yes.
Kim Chevalier.
Kim Chevalier, aye.
Aaron Collins.
Aaron Collins, aye.
Donna Hedgepath.
Donna Hedgepath, yes.
Justin Mitchell.
Justin Mitchell, yes.
Daniel Morgan.
Daniel Morgan, aye.
Ellen Murphy.
Ellen Murphy, yes.
Sherry Powers.
Sherry Powers, yes.
John Robinson.
John Robinson, aye.
Elizabeth Smith.
Elizabeth Smith, yes.
Jamie Stickler.
Jamie Stickler, yes.
Rachel Watson.
Rachel Watson, yes.
Voting is complete.
Thank you. We are now ready to move into closed session. Looking at the time, it's almost 11:15. My script says 10-minute break, but I say we have a 15 or 16-minute break because I have a feeling you'll need to take a restroom break, grab something to eat, come back to your computer. So I ask that we all just return here at 11:30. Thank you all.